So all the recording would have to
The live, right?
yeah. What I'm saying is we have to be facing you. I mean we have to be looking at this direction. Yeah. Okay. We're recording, right? Oh, sorry. I'm pulling
Good
a.
morning, Foster.
Yeah. I'm pulling a. What is his name?
You are live.
Gordon Lewitt something. But anyway, good morning, guys. This is Alvin Tay from Thriving Talents. Yeah, can we lower that a little bit? This is Joseph Gordon-Lewitt. That's his name, right? I'm pulling a Joseph Gordon-Lewitt here as are we recording? But anyway, obviously my teammates are not aware of what's going on. But welcome to Thriving Talents L&D Day, where Thriving Talents is an emerging company in talent development in Malaysia. So what we do on our L&D Day is that we will be looking at different sort of information, things like books or articles or research or even just stories, inspiring stories, and then we would share the information for us to be able to learn and develop not just ourselves but the company as well. So for today's session, my personal contribution in what we are going through in this morning is the things that I've read in this book called Killer Analytics. And I find this book to be very exciting because for a person like my background in statistics, I thought this is actually even an eye-opening experience for me. So as I was reading through this book, there's one index that I particularly find interesting, which was called the Project Management Index. So let me kind of give you guys a quick background. For those of you listeners who are tuning in, Thriving Talents, we do this L&D on every Monday and Wednesday in Malaysian time from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., right? So back to this Project Management Index. So have you guys ever, caught in a situation where you are working on a project but you don't know how the future is going to look like, and then you just keep doing, but the tracking process is not as streamlined or as nice as you thought you want it to be. And then what happens is after the event you have a post-mortem, and then you spend like 2-3 hours doing the post-mortem, and then you track all the records, then you realize that you just spent a lot of times not exactly getting any solid information. So what the Project Management Index tells us is that aside from just tracking the past record, for example, getting records on like the previous project's cost or previous project's schedule, we also should be looking at some leading indicators, meaning what are some of the things that we can see, look ahead and to kind of predict what we are doing right now. Let's just sort of put this project management aside. Let's use talent development as an example. So a lot of the times we look at talents in the industry. So for us to analyze the talents, then we would have record if they have retained or left the company. If they have dropped the job, so we have a record, okay, they have dropped the job, this was their salary, this was their education background, then we can do predictive analysis. But by the time that when they drop the job, it would have been a very expensive and costly lesson to learn. So one thing that we can do to predict the competency of the talents in this industry is that we can perhaps even tap into what we call platforms like LinkedIn or Glassdoor to find out what are the industries hiring, what are the companies in the industries hiring. Then from there we can do this is what I call like a prospective analysis, not so much of a retrospective analysis. But kind of jumping back to this Project Management Index, there are a few things that the book has suggested to keep track on, to put actually a percentage for us to keep track on. So it's not just verbal update, but it's actually a number, objective percentage tracking. And cost is something that we need to keep track on. And another thing is the schedule, the milestone, seeing have we reached the milestone of each stage, as well as the quality of the work. So these are some of the things that we can keep track on even when we are doing it, and then we have information from the past. But two other things that the book has also mentioned is the process, the fourth one, and the churn, the fifth one. Process meaning the quality of the meetings that we have with our customers. So how is it like? Do we do a good job in following up, in meeting expectations? Whereas for churn, it's kind of like the deviation from our project. So those are just the 5 things that the book has mentioned, and hopefully we can see each other via Periscope again in the future for me to share more, okay? So make sure that you guys tune in to our Thriving Talents L&D on every Monday and Wednesday morning, Malaysian time, 8 to 9 a.m. So next up, I'm gonna pass the Periscope floor to my partner here, Elisha, to share more on what she has read.
Okay, good morning everyone out there. Thanks for joining us so early or late, I suppose, if you're any other part of the world. Today I will be sharing on free and why is free so important nowadays to business. So basically, this book that I've read are basically talking about how we can make money by giving things free, and it's not the traditional model where it's like a free sample and has always been there. For example, when companies want you to try something, what essentially they do is they give you free samples, or they give you certain things like a free book, and then they send you something else that you have to pay for and you cannot live without. The story that they very interestingly put towards for us in this book is that what essentially you can't, like, I cannot believe my friend Julian is being so irritating while I'm talking to you. I'm super sorry. Also, on a side note, we also only broadcast on Wednesdays, not Mondays, because so anyway, continuously on that is that we're talking about free, right? And then there's this really interesting story about how we basically talk about selling things but charging them at a minimal cost. But then now when we have the internet, we no longer do that. We literally give away content, we give away videos, we give away a whole lot of things for free, and that's because behind free is always something else, and it can never be quantifiable, because as humans we are always having to quantify things. There's always things that are physical and tangible that we need to have. But once we shift to the digital era, there are different things that actually make up free. So you have things like reputation, you have things like your likability with other people, and that's what happens when you have free, and that's why you have free to begin with. So if let's say you're reputable and more people like you, you can sell more things, and that's why I feel that free is very important. So tune in next Wednesday, 8 a.m. Malaysian time, or I would say about 5 p.m. US time, or probably at 10 a.m. Australian time for you to be part of Thrivers L&D. So passing it on to Ivan for our next session.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in for Thriving Talents Learning and Development. So part of Thriving Talents is what we do is we believe in actually building the talents, particularly for the millennials, which are young people actually. So as you all know, basically it was Women's Day back on the 8th of March, right? So there's so many prominent women out there that actually made a difference in this world today. So one of the ladies which I'm about to share is a young person that actually made a huge impact a few years ago with regards to education. So who am I talking about? I'm actually talking about Malala Yousafzai. So if you do not know about Malala Yousafzai, you can probably Google her. A short story about her: she basically was a girl whereby she got shot when she was 15 years old back in 2012 in her native town, Pakistan, for believing in the concept that a pencil can actually change the world. Now, what do I mean by a pencil that can change the world? Education. Now, education is something important and vital for everyone to actually attain. Basically, she believed the fact that every child, every girl, every person in this world needs education. So, for what she stood for, she got shot 3 times, but she did survive, and she was the youngest recipient for the Nobel Prize back for Tina. Right now, I'm just about to share regards to a little bit of lesson of what she believed in terms of education. So the first lesson actually would be this. Number one, young people can achieve greatness as well. So no matter how old you are, how young you are, actually, if you truly believe in yourself, you actually can make a difference. All you got to do is just have that passion, have that purpose, and actually focus, and you can do it. There will be obstacles, but hey, what challenges? What is life without challenges? Basically, right? The second is I'd like to share about the power of education. Never stop learning. Always have the hunger to actually learn something new on a daily basis. So this is one of the drives of Malala Yousafzai as well. She tried to learn on a daily basis. She was actually taught by her parents as well to keep learning, to keep striving, to actually look into new types of learnings, right? Third would be actually, if you believe in something, you should actually go all out for it. And basically, you actually have to dream about it, keep dreaming about it, and then just keep pushing yourself, and then you can achieve it. Right? So that's just my sharing for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Right now, I'm just going to pass to one of my colleagues as well, Mallory, and she's going to share something really interesting.
Hi! Thank you so much for tuning in to our Thriving Talents L&D. So I'm going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there's this young guy who has achieved so much but not enough at the same time. One day, this young guy was searching for content of life, and he met a wise man who asked him one important question that changed his life. He asked him, if let's say a philanthropist would bank in $50,000 to your bank account every single day, and you can do anything you want. Sleeping is not an option. You can do anything you want. What would it be? Without hesitation, this young man answered, I want to change lives. I want to inspire lives. Better yet, I want to bring out the best in others. That was the day Thriving Talents was born. With that story, he has grew the company from employee number 1 to now a team of all of us. Everybody say hi!
Yay.
And Julian behind the camera, which you will see later, as well as growing our database of clients from 1 to now over 50 to 100 clients, as well including universities and government bodies. We have also reached out from 1 country, Malaysia, to 38 countries around the world. The lesson that we are trying to share with you here today is, don't sell, tell. Stories mean so much more to every individual because all of us have our own stories. Stories relate people. You don't separate the entity from the client or the customers. You join them together, you connect the dots. So 3 simple ways you can create your own brand and your own story is, first, what's your brand? Ask yourself, what is your brand and your story? Your hardest point, your challenges, your success. Where do you come from? How do you get to where you are today? Where do you aspire to be? Number 2, what is the story you want others to say about you? What do you want them to share about you? Who are you? And number 3, ask yourself, what is the story you want to tell 3 years down the road? That's where you aim to be. There's a line from the movie Our Brand is Crisis, said, do not narrate the person to fit the script. Narrate the script to fit the person. All of us are unique and all of us have a way of telling a story. So narrate your own script today. Thank you so much for joining. And now for our final triber, Julian! Yay!
What's up, guys? So again, I thank you for joining us for our L&D session. For those of you that are just joining in or tuning in via web or via you're watching a replay of this, just give us a few taps so that we know that you actually like this and we will continue producing more content. Because giving taps will increase our rankings in the world of Periscope, and it will help us out greatly to know that what we are doing here is stuff that you actually like, okay, because that's our service to you. So today I'm reading, the topic I'm going to share about is the Millionaire Messenger. So the Millionaire Messenger specifically talks about how you become an expert in your academy and how you share your knowledge and your content to people and help people grow. And by doing that, you actually become rich. Okay. So in one step that they were talking about, building a brand, building a business based on 3 values, which is distinction, excellence, and service. So being distinctive meaning that you are a unique brand, okay? So what makes Thriving Talents different from the others? We are specifically targeting millennials. Okay, if you're watching this and if you are a millennial, this content is for you. Especially because we have articles that we are going to produce via our website, which is talenttalks.com. So if you are tuning in, you can log on to Talent Talks, TALENTALKZ.com. Okay. Also, so that's how we become distinctive. We don't follow the normal training procedures. We have people. We have done stuff like this, Periscope. We are doing Twitter, social media. We are active on social media because we want to reach out to people like you. So this is how we become different as well. Okay, let's talk about excellence. Okay, being excellent in everything that we do, we always try to give the best content that we can. We always try to add the most value for you guys, because that is what we believe in, and that is how we know how to reach out. We only give you the best. Okay, let's talk about the last one, which is service. So as we are sharing our content with you, these are acts of service that we do. We give you actionable tips and content, and we also give you a part of our lives, sharing all this stuff with you through our L&D session, through our scopes. You can watch us on our future sessions on our scopes, where we give you good advice, we give you good strategies that you can take and use it for yourself. So again, I just want to thank you, and to round it all up, thank you for joining us for our L&D session on this day. We want to invite you for our next L&D session. Remember to follow us on Periscope, okay, and do watch us and give us taps so that we know that you like our content. Thank you again. See you.